right, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to this episode of Shop Talk. Today we're going to go over a couple different scenarios as far as cleaning your tires, mounting your tires, also what you can do to prevent failure and also preserve the life of your tires as far as storage is concerned. So we're going to jump into the first steps, which is a lot of people ask about how to mount tires or what's the proper way they should be doing it and the stuff that they should be using. So obviously, step number one, it's especially for you new guys, if you're going to be cleaning tires. Right now, we prefer to use Simple Green to actually clean the bead. You don't want to dilute this at all. You want to use it at full strength. You can find this at any local hardware store or any grocery store for that matter. So full strength, Simple Green, again, not diluted. What you do on that then is you're going to use a towel. So obviously you have microfiber towels, or you can use a shop towel. Important thing is you don't want to use a towel that's going to leave any residue behind or any type of felt or anything like that, because that's going to actually get in the bonding surface and cause an improper bond. So here we have, for example, these are the Proline shop towels, which are microfiber. I have a yellow one here though that I'm going to actually use for the demonstration, so you guys can kind of see a little bit of the residue and also the foam that will kind of come off into the rag and clean the mounting surface. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your tire. The best way to do this, especially with closed cell foam, is to already have the foam inside the tire, because once you kind of work it back and forth, the foam itself is machined, so it tends to have a little bit of powdery substance, and that will get on the actual mounting bead. So foam already inside the tire, already ready to go. And all you have to do is take a little bit of the Simple Green, you're going to put it on your rag, kind of dab it a little bit, and then you're going to go into the bead and just kind of work it around a couple times. And what this is going to do is you can see the towel was perfectly yellow. There was nothing on it. And now this is all the residue that's coming off. So what this is some of the tire itself releasing a little bit of the oils, but it's also the residue coming off for the foam. So now that side's completely clean and it's ready to be mounted. So there you go. So now your tire is prepped and ready to go. You can put it on the wheel. Obviously, before you glue it, you want to make sure that it's dry. You don't want to have any type of moisture in there. So that's the easiest way to clean the tires. Like I said, Simple Green, a shop towel, and so that tire's prepped and ready. Also, a lot of people ask us the question, what do you use to hold the tire in place? That's pretty simple. You can find a standard rubber band at your local Staples or store like that, or you can also get these cool rubber bands from Proline. Tire bands are available everywhere. So this is what we use to hold the tire actually to the rim, hold it into place. That way it's not popping out while the glue's drying. Another question people have for us is the glue. What type of glue should we use? Well, there's obviously a bunch of different types of glue out there on the market. You can find them at your hardware store. However, some of those glues will work for this purpose and some of them won't. What we obviously recommend is the Proline tire glue. It's been formulated to bond rubber to plastic. So the important thing is when gluing, you don't want to have a glue that's too runny, especially for the newer people that are just getting into mounting tires, because you can run into issues. One, it dries very, very fast and it's hard to manipulate the tire and get it into place if something did happen to where you need to pop the bead in and it's not seated correctly. But two, if you put too much, it can actually work its way into the backside and you actually stick the foam to the wheel. So then you're going to end up with a section of foam that can't move and can't shift, and it's just stuck under the wheel and kind of bunches up. So our tire glue is a medium, so if you can find a medium glue, we definitely recommend that. Doing the opposite of too thick of a glue can actually be bad as well, because it takes too long to cure, and two, when catalyst starts, it actually kind of turns white and chalky. And it's probably not the best bond, and it definitely doesn't look good on your tires and wheels that you just paid for. So that's covering the glue. Also, we've gotten some requests and people mentioning getting the foam into the tires and actually having the foam seat properly. An example here is like the carpet tire that I have. What we've done to the insert is we've actually just taken a pair of scissors and we've radiused the edges a little bit on the outside and the inside. And what this does is it just helps it conform to the tire a little bit, but on the inside it also helps with the mounting bead, and it keeps the foam from necessarily getting pinched and trapped into the wheel bead, so it's not going to get stuck when you're gluing. So this is something we've done for years. Obviously, the white foam primarily used now for the carpet tires and stuff, and then closed cell for the majority of the other applications. But that's just a neat trick that you guys can try to help get the foam seated a little bit better into your tires. So we've had, over the years, some customer service issues where people say, hey, my tires have a flat spot or my tires are cracked. So we're going to go over a couple things that you can do to actually do some preventative treatment to your tire and to help extend their shelf life. With all rubbers, they dry out over time. They will start to crack and will start to fade just like your real car tires. The majority of the tires come with this nifty Proline bag that actually, once you open it, it still has the zipper seal. And this is a really great tool here. So after you run your tires, what you want to do is clean them with some water, make sure they're all dry, and put them back in the bag and then seal that bag back up. So what that's going to do is that's going to prevent the tire from aging as quickly, and it's also going to keep it from dry rotting. And the next time you pull it out, they're clean and ready to go. So that's the number one thing there, is to store your tires. You don't want to leave them out in just the open air or in the heat. Extreme heat is definitely not good for rubber. Extreme prolonged exposure to UV is also really bad. So you don't necessarily have to use the Proline bag. You can just go get a regular, grocery bag from the grocery store. Just make sure it's a Ziploc, and you'll be good to go. So storage is really important. I have an example here of a tire. This tire was actually has been sitting in my garage off my kid's truck for a while. And the tire itself, this has probably been about 4 years now. But if you look, you can actually see the sidewall is completely cracking. And then the actual bead lock is cracking as well. So the bead lock is always putting pressure on that tire, holding it into place. But at the same time, we're in California. This summer got up to 110. My garage is up to 120. The thing's just sitting there. It's not covered. It's not protected. So as I would expect, this tire starts to dry and it's going to get some dry rot. And, there's no full life guarantee on rubber. You know what I mean? Eventually, like I said, it is gonna fade. It is gonna crack, and they will need to be replaced just like your real car. So very important there, just proper storage and prolong your investment. And last, we're going to go over just another storage technique. A lot of people tend to just take their car, they'll just throw it in the garage or throw it on the floor on a shelf and actually leave the tires on there. We definitely don't recommend doing that, especially with closed cell, because what it does is all that pressure just sits there on the tire on that spot. And if you don't ever rotate it, what's going to happen is you're going to get a flat spot in the tire. So what that does is with this foam, it's really hard to get it to go back to shape. It might not ever go back to shape, and you've essentially kind of ruined your tires. And you can see in this one, it's actually got a flat spot. It was sitting over here on the shelf with one of the cars. So again, it's best to unmount the tires, put them in a bag, leave them for storage. Don't leave them on the car. Don't leave them sitting with a lot of pressure on them, a lot of weight, because again, it's going to flat spot them. It's going to throw them out of balance, and it's just next time you go to running, it's just not going to be a good experience for you. So that's it for this video. We're going to have some more coming up, just kind of talking about more about the tires and the things that we do with them as far as prep and all that. So, all right, guys, so if you liked the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Throw your comments down below. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And for any other questions, comments, check us out, ProlineRacing.com, and we'll catch you guys next time.